Welcome back to Olde Salty Bastards, the show. Tonight, we're going full Navy. Sea stories, port calls, Liberty buddies, mystery tattoos, chow, zero privacy, and the kind of stories that start with, now, I'm not saying this happened to me, and ends with, that's why we're not allowed back there anymore. But before the stupidity, some respect. Now, this part already happened. We're not breaking news here. We're old salty bastards. We get to things when we fucking get to them. But some stuff earns a tip of the hat, no matter how late we are. USS Gerald R. Ford and her battle group pulled off the longest carrier deployment since Vietnam. 326 days. Say that again, 326 days. That's not a deployment. That is a floating steel hostage situation with worse Wi-Fi and better uniforms. The official version sounds real professional. Nearly 8,000 miles sailed. That's 3 laps around the planet, 2,500 sorties, 200 tons of ordnance, and a President unit citation on the way home. All of that matters. It absolutely does. But the old sauce know there's always another story underneath. The Admiral version and the E4 Mafia version at 0200. Eating ramen out of a coffee cup and not the same story. We're doing the second one tonight. We're not mocking the mission. 326 days away is no fucking joke. Believe me. You miss birthdays, anniversaries, first steps, funerals. And while sailors were out there doing their job, families were back home, were doing their own deployment. So before we laugh to the Ford, the battle group, and every family who held it down, welcome home, shipmates. You earned every hug, every hot meal, every real shower, and every second of peace. Now that we've paid respect, let's talk about the side the press release leaves out. Sea stories, port calls, and other poor decisions. If that title offends you, you either never deployed or you're the guy we're talking about. So let's get salty. First of all, deployment time isn't real time. Civilians hear 11 months and go, well, at least it wasn't a full year. That's how you know they've never been underway. 11 months underway is dog years mixed with prison time. A Monday at sea feels like 3 Thursdays in a court-martial. You stop tracking days, you start tracking chow. Is today Taco Tuesday? Is today the day I lose my damn mind? Deployments got phases. Phase 1, motivation. You pack protein powder and books you'll never fucking read. You're a better person then. Then there's phase 2, the routine. You learn to watch rotation. The decent shower, who smells bad. Then there's phase 3, irritation. Somebody chews too loud. Somebody says, back at my last command, one more fucking time, you're going to go overboard with him. Phase 4, utter madness. Somebody's named the mop. Somebody's ranked powdered eggs by emotional damage. A bird flies by and the whole crew loses it, like it's a celebrity sighting. Then the final phase, homecoming fever. Mentally, you're home. Physically, you're still on the goddamn ship. And that is a dangerous combination. The countdown starts. Not normal countdowns, Navy countdowns. 21 days and a wake up. And every time somebody says the number out loud, half the shop celebrates and the other half goes, shut up, don't jinx it. Because the Navy hears happiness and immediately looks for a way to ruin it. You say 21 days and somewhere an officer is building a slide that says possible extension. That'll give that whole crew chest pains on the spot. The Navy calls it operational readiness. Sailors call it character building, and by character, we mean emotional scar tissue. There's no privacy, none, zero. A carrier is a floating city. Not a normal one. No parks, no restaurants, no walking away from people you hate, and privacy, none, zero. You sleep next to people. Brush your teeth next to people. Hear them snore, fart, cry, pray, and talk in their fucking sleep. You know who has athlete's foot. You know who's got a Dear John letter. You joined to see the world and ended up knowing way too much about Seamus Smuckatelli's bathroom habits. And every brother's got that one nasty fucking bastard treating his rack like a honeymoon suite at the Hilton, using government issued socks for things socks were never meant to do. Brother, there is no privacy. That Kurt is not a force field. Everybody knows. You're not sneaky. You're just making laundry weird. Birthing is not a bedroom. It's a sleeping warehouse full of grown men stacked in metal racks, surrounded by bad air, and at least one guy whose hygiene plan runs entirely on hope and shame. There's always a cast of characters. Every ship's got the same lineup. The boot, new, motivated, still thinks the chain of command knows what it's doing. Asks, do we get weekends off underway? No, son. The ocean doesn't observe weekends. Then there's the lifer. Been in since the invention of rope. Starts every sentence with back in my day and back in his day. Apparently nobody complained about anything, which is funny since complaining is currently his entire personality. Then there's the sea lawyer. Knows half the instructions, misunderstands the other half, gives legal advice with confidence of a Supreme Court justice, and the accuracy of a drunk parrot. They can't make us do that. Yes, they can. They just did. You're on the watch bill now. Then there's the gym monster. Deploys a normal human being. Comes back looking like he's eating dumbbells. Meal prep in birthing compartment. And it smells like foot and ass. I'm cutting right now. Brother, we're eating mystery meat off of a tray. Nobody's cutting. We're surviving. And then there's the guy who never showers enough. Every ship's got one. Immune to hit. Immune to shame. You say, somebody smells like a dead fucking raccoon in a gym sock. And he says, yeah, man, that's crazy. While being the source of the event. Then we have the phantom shitter. Every ship's got a legend. Ghost stories. Cursed equipment. But nothing brings it birthing together like discovering there's a phantom shitter among you. Picture a birthing with 200 grown men and 8 shower stalls. 8. Already not a luxury living. Now imagine some broken, poorly raised individual decides it'll be funny to take a dump in 3 of those 8 stalls. Not 1, 3. For a 200-man birthing. At that point, that's not a prank. That's a war crime. Under the Geneva Convention of Common Decency and the investigation afterwards. It's his own show. Everybody's a suspect. Some E5 turns full detective. We know this incident occurred between 0215 and 0340. Suspect is comfortably operating in low light. The man is dangerous. Now, showering is a tactical event. You clear the stall before you use it, and leadership has to get involved, which is always beautiful because somewhere there's a chief who joined the Navy to mentor sailors and serve his country. And now he's standing in berthing at 0600 yelling, which one of you nasty son of a bitches shit in the fucking shower? That's deck plate leadership. No academy prepares you for that. The worst part, he never confesses. He lives among you. He eats beside you. He might even be the loudest guy yelling, who would do something like that? 6 hours after he did something like that. That's villain behavior. Years later, you'll forget the inspections, forget the ports, forget half the deployments, but you run into an old shipmate and say, remember that phantom shitter? And his eyes change. Bro, 3 shower stalls. 200-man birthing, and you both just stare off in the distance like a flashback music starts playing. That's how you know it was real. And if that man's listening right now, you're not fucking funny. You're not a legend. You're the reason we can't have nice things. May your shower shoes always be wet. Sea stories are different from regular stories. A regular story is supposed to be accurate. A sea story is supposed to be emotionally true, meaning the facts got enhanced for entertainment, legal protection, or because alcohol was involved. They all start with, no bullshit, there I was. Or the most dangerous one, you remember that port call? Nobody ever says that before a story about responsible decision making. It's always followed by a guy who vanished for 8 hours and come back in one sandal and a hat from a restaurant nobody remembers visiting. A good sea story, it's got three parts: a bad idea, worse execution, and somebody asking, how the hell did we not get arrested? Port calls are where that happens. After months underway, the ship pulls in, and thousands of guys trapped in a steel box get released into a civilization. The Navy gives a liberty breathe. Don't get drunk. Don't get arrested. Don't get tattooed somewhere questionable. Don't be fucking stupid. And every sailor hears that as got it, but slightly less stupid than usual. Every port's got the explorer, the guy who wanders off with no map and a dangerous amount of confidence. 3 hours later, you're in an alley with no cell phone service, and your buddy is eating something off of a cart. That may or may not be meat. Every port's got the guy who falls in love. In Italy, she was different. In Spain, she really got him. Brother, she works at a bar. Her connection is your wallet. Every port's got the tattoo guy, too. He's got a symbol he can't read that he swear means warrior spirit, and it probably means tourist chicken discount. And every port's got the souvenir idiot walking around with a full-size wooden fucking giraffe going, you think this will fit in my sea bag? No, dude, that barely fits in your life. And every deployment's got the guy sprinting down the pier at the last second, belt half on, sweating liquor, the whole ship yelling from the rails, run, dumbass, run. You better not make us stay here. Most athletic he's been all year. Makes it. He's a legend. He's training material. The Liberty Buddy system is supposed to keep you safe. In theory. Brilliant in practice. It depends entirely on whether your buddy's a responsible adult or a human grenade with shoes. A good buddy says, no, you're not getting that tattoo. A bad buddy says, hell yeah, bro, to literally everything. Should I buy this sword? Hell yeah, bro. Should I arm wrestle this local guy? Hell yeah, bro. The whole system's supposed to be a safety net. And half the time, it's just two idiots making matching mistakes and agreeing not to tell the chief. But when it works, it works. A good Liberty buddy reads your face and says, nope, we're leaving, before it becomes an incident report. And somewhere on some deployment, some sailor has absolutely tried to bring an animal back to the ship. A cat, a bird, a goat. Chief, it followed me. No, idiot. You fed it half a kebab and named it Admiral Snuggles. That is not the same thing. Now it's time for Salty Sea Bags. Tonight's theme, port call confessions. May be true, may be exaggerated, may have happened to a friend of a friend on another ship in another fleet, which is legally convenient for everyone involved. First, the tattoo translator. I want something deep and meaningful. Picks foreign characters off the shop wall because they look cool. Artists tell him it means strength and honor. Walks around proud for months. Later finds someone who can actually read it. Turns out it says something closer to spicy beef special. If you survive deployment with only a beef menu item tattooed on you, you're still ahead of the curve. Second letter is the Liberty Buddy Houdini. Guy vanishes mid-Liberty. No text, no warning. They search bars, the pier, start panicking. He walks back hours later, sunglasses on at night, holding a live bird. Not a toy, a real bird. Says he rescued it. The bird disagrees. They made him let it go, and he was mad about it for 2 days. Lost a bird and still thought he was the victim. Third letter, the wrong ship. Sailors get hammered in port, tries to come back, walks up the wrong ship, and salutes like he belongs there. Quarterdeck watch says, what ship are you on? He names his actual ship. That's not this ship. He argues. He points at it. Wrong again. Somebody's got to physically turn his ass around towards the right pier, like a lost toddler at a fair. He's mad. Nobody told him. They did, shipmate, repeatedly. You tried to board a destroyer like it was your apartment. We laughed a lot tonight, but deployment is funny in hindsight when you're in it. It can suck bad. 326 days is a long fucking time to miss your own bed, your own bathroom, your kid's birthday, your dad's funeral, and while sailors do the mission, the families back home are doing their own deployment. Sick kids, broken cars, bills, and a service member somewhere in the ocean with garbage email and no way to fix any of it. That helplessness is real on both ends, so when a ship like the Ford finally comes home, it's not just a ship returning, it's kids seeing a parent again. Spouses finally breathing. 80 of those sailors held their own newborn kids for the very first time, right there on the pier. And it's also the start of a weird adjustment. You've been living by bells and watch rotations for almost a year, and then somebody asks what you want for dinner, and your brain just short circuits because your options were eat it, don't eat it, or drown it in hot sauce. Civilians hear us laugh about port calls and bad food and think maybe we're not taking it seriously. Wrong. The humor is how people survive it. You can respect the mission and still laugh at the guy who tried to bring a bird back on the ship. That's not disrespect. That's honesty. So tonight, we started with the Ford wrapping up 326 days at sea, the longest carrier deployment since Vietnam. That's historic. That's serious. That deserves respect. Full stop. No joke attached to that part. But every deployment's got two histories. The official one, miles sailed, flight hours, mission success, and the real one. The phantom shitter, the sea lawyer, Smuckatelli socks, the guy who tried to smuggle a bird aboard the ship. The brass writes the first one down. Sailors are the only ones who remember the second ones. And 20 years from now, that's the one they'll actually tell at the bar. To the Ford, to the battle group, and every other family that waited through that long-ass fucking deployment, welcome home. Even if we're saying it a little fucking late, as usual, eat real food, hug your people, ignore your alarm clock for a hot minute. That ship burned a year in the shipyards just to catch its breath. So you can take a damn weekend, and for the love of all things salty, do not immediately volunteer for anything. And to the rest of you, old salts, sea lawyers, liberty risks, sock puppet survivors, send me your port call stories. Not the ones that'll get somebody divorced. The funny ones. We'll clean them up just enough to keep you out of trouble, maybe. This is Tug. Stay salty, you magnificent bastards.